Let's talk all about routes and mapping from Garmin Connect, how to create your own courses, your own routes, and load them directly into your watch. This is a video that's been requested for a while now on my channel, and today we're going to talk about it. And I have two different Garmins here. The Fenix 8 Solar, this has mapping built into it, and the Instinct 3 Solar Tactical. This does not have mapping built into it. And you're going to see exactly how this works across both watches. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to dive into the Garmin Connect app. And I have courses directly on the bottom. And if you're wondering how to do that, you would normally have to access courses under more. And I believe it's under training and planning or something. Like you have to dive into the settings to find it. And what I've done is I've just pinned it here under this edit tab bar. You can also go into your settings and then go into tab bar and edit that way. And you can have only a handful pinned there. I've just removed the defaults and added courses in because I'm going to use that more often. And so if we go into courses, we're going to create a new course here. These are some of the ones that I've done before, but we're going to create a brand new one, start from scratch. This is more like, hey, I want to go out and I want to pre-plan a day, pre-plan a ride or a hike or something, and I want to have the course loaded so I don't get lost instead of just going out there and figuring it out once I get there. This is planning ahead, right? And so you can pick your different profiles. We're going to do a hike for this one. And now you can also do automatic. Just say, hey, you know what? I want to go to like the national forest, pick my starting route, and I want to create a 3-mile loop, and it'll create a 3-mile loop for you. You can do that through this, or I'm just going to hit custom here so I can draw it all out. Now I live near Colorado Springs, and so that's where I'm going to set up this course at. And so all these purple lines in here are going to be common places and common trails where people like to hike and get around. And so that's pretty cool. So we're going to go to Garden of the Gods here, which is a popular spot. And we're going to create a path for us to hike around the park. So we don't just get there and start following trails and figuring out where we're going. It's like we can create a pre-planned path that we can follow when we get there. And so I know that this is the parking lot here. And if I hold to start there, that's a pin. And then you kind of just go along your route. You hold and it will snap to the route. And so if I go like way over here, sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. That time it did. Took me along the actual path I want to take. And so there's different ways you can add these points. You can press this little waypoint button down here and get an exact fine tune to place it. Or if you just hold, if it's not super finicky like that, you can just hold and build your way through it. You're going to want to chunk it out into different sections because if you go too far along the path, it'll sometimes take you the way you don't want to go. That time it seemed to. And so these are all your different waypoints along the way. And you can always, undo if you have an issue. And so I'm going to go ahead and just build this loop really quick and you'll see how this looks. Okay, here I am towards the end of it. I'm going to go ahead and just hit this loop to start once you kind of get to where you want to go, and then it will draw a line back to the start. This does it along the road, but it's whatever. It's neither here nor there. It's close enough, right? That's our course that we have. And so we're going to go ahead and save it. We can also look at our routing options. So this is like you could literally draw it by hand, or you can have it snap to a trail if you wanted to. Hey, Future Alex here. Sorry, I forgot to add something to this. Is we can always go back and edit our courses. And so this is the course that I just made and mapped out, but it's going to be helpful for you to add different waypoints to this. And what I mean by that is if I hit edit, all these little dots are the different waypoints that you have. And so spreading those out to places that make sense, like a fork in the road or stuff like that, are going to be helpful. But if you hit these 3 dots and you hit add a course point, now you have all this other information. So if like aid station, like if you're doing a race, you know where that's at. Or if there's restrooms or toilets along the route, or as campsite, tunnel, bridge, danger, like I know that there is a restroom along the route here and it kind of pops up in the middle. And so there's a public restroom there. So I'll just put it like right there on the route, place point. So then you get that information and you can change the name and add a note or whatever. You get that information built in so that when you sync it to your watch, you can see from your watch where the restroom is coming up at or points of interest, stuff like that. So that's very helpful that if you know that information ahead of time, adding that in along your route is going to save you a lot of headache when you're actually out there. I'm just going to hit save and we're going to label it GOG for Garden of the Gods. And I'm just going to keep it private. Otherwise, it'd be public. Save. Okay. So now we have our course planned. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this button, which sends it to my Garmin device. Time to hit the trail. I sent it to the Fenix 8 here. And I'm going to send it to the Instinct 3 as well. And then we can look and see the stats and the data of our entire thing. We can even get driving directions to take us directly to where the trail starts. That's pretty helpful. I love that about Garmin. And so now, once we go back over here, both watches should be synced up here. If I jump into both of them, they should be synced up. Make sure that they have the course loaded. So this is where now you can share the courses on the trailhead. And here's actually a quick demonstration of how it works to share it from one watch to another. Obviously I loaded the course onto both watches here as I'm making the video, but let's say you're out on the trail and you don't need an internet connection to do this. You can just be out in the middle of nowhere and your friend shows up with a Garmin and you want to be able to share the route with them. If you go down to Garmin Share on both devices and we go down to Garmin Share here, we're going to receive on this one, send from this one. We're going to jump down to pick an item here, and we could do this either way. It could go either direction. We're going to select a course. Since we already have Garden of the Gods, that one sent over, I'm going to go ahead and do this Pineries Open Space, just a different course. Select that one. I can add multiples to kind of share, and when I hit share, it's going to look for somebody and it finds me, the other one here. And then it's going to say, I want to share. Click that. And it basically, normally there's a pin between the two of them, but I already did it. And so you confirm the pin between it. It's basically an airdrop. And so then that's how that works. It's just like a Bluetooth file transfer. And so now both watches have that same exact course. So you don't have to worry about building on both phones. You could do that in the middle of the woods with your buddy and share a course file directly, which is pretty cool. And so now there's a couple different ways to access the course once you have it. We don't really need the phone anymore for this part because it's on the watch. If you're at the trailhead and you're going to go and you're just going to start your hike like normal, we're going to go start a hike. It's going to get a GPS lock. We're going to go down to navigate. And then inside of navigation is going to be saved. And then these are the courses. There's GOG. And then it tells you all the data about the course. And you can see more. You can see do the course in reverse. So it'll take you through the opposite direction if you want to do that. And then you can also see the entire map of the course. And I'm going to let that load there for a second. It takes a bit to draw the map. There you go. That's one thing that, like, yes, it has mapping, but it is a little bit laggy and a little bit slow. You can see there, we can zoom in and we can see the whole course of the map. And then if we do the course and do the workout, we have the normal hiking data screens and then like an arrow around the edge that takes you, like it points you in the right direction. So you stay on course. And then you can keep tabs of your map, keep tabs on your map, and then obviously like move it around and see stuff like that. So you kind of get more context as far as like where is everything else around you. That's a little bit different than over here on the Instinct. On the Instinct, if we're going to go in, and again, we'll start our hike and we'll go down. We'll hold the side button and go down to navigation, go to courses. There's GOG. Let it load. This is now where we have the option to do the course, look at the map, do the course in reverse, see the elevation plot, which is kind of cool. I mean, you get all the same options on the Fenix 8. The Instinct is just going to present it differently. I think the Instinct actually does an easier job presenting this stuff. It's kind of more clear about what it is. They don't have color to rely on with this display, and so they have to be super clear about the language, about the wording. And so if we look at our map, way faster to load, but you can see that's more of the breadcrumb trail style. You don't get the rich context mapping that you get over here on the Fenix. And this is basically what you'd get to follow on the Instinct. You can kind of move around. Obviously, it's not touchscreen, so you can't zoom in or like navigate that way. But basically on your wrist, what you would get is this, you're going along and you can see a line and you know that you follow the line. So if there's a fork in the road, you just take that fork. And then also there is a little bit more finicky to navigate this guy here. There is a arrow that on certain data screens, it will point the arrow to keep you on track. And so you just get a general view of like, okay, this is the line. I follow the line. That's where it goes. You don't really see much context beyond that. And then the Fenix 8, this is where you get the full-fledged mapping. It does give you more context. So like, oh, okay, there's a trail that goes that way. Well, where does that go? Oh, it loops around that way. You can kind of see that. But again, it's neither here nor there. You basically get the same path to follow across both of them. And so that's really how the mapping is going to work in favor of the instinct, is if you plan ahead, plan your route, you can do that. And aside from having the rich context aware mapping features on the Fenix, you're basically getting almost the same thing on the instinct. And there's going to be another way to access this. You don't have to start a hike to jump into that. If you just go down to saved, this is going to be all your saved trails. And then we can look at our Garden of the Gods here. And it's basically the same menu. You can click do course. And then once you're at the trailhead, you press that. And it knows you set it up as a hike. It knows to log it as a hike. And you still get all the features and mapping and stuff like that. And so that's generally how that works on the watch. That's how you get a course planned so you can follow it. And you can basically see either way. Like, yes, having context feature rich mapping over here is going to be helpful for, again, contextual awareness on the wrist. But if you plan it out, you're going to have the same line to follow on this guy as well, which is very helpful. The case that people make for the mapping on the Fenix lineup, or even the Epics, just the Garmins that have maps, it's helpful for, like, again, like I say, context awareness or on the fly mapping. So if you're just going along your hike and you want to know where that trail goes, you can just glance at your wrist and see where that trail flows around. Or you want to reroute or plot a new course, or if you're at the trailhead and you're like, I just want to do a 3-mile loop, it'll do that from the watch. But again, it's kind of lost a little bit because you have your phone with you most of the time anyway to be able to look that stuff up. So especially if you have the Garmin Explore app, it's basically mapping, but on your phone. And when it's connected to your account, you can see all your different trails that you have made. And so if I go in here to Garden of the Gods, where we built this trail, it's kind of hard to see with all the colors, but the blue line is the trail we made. And so if I look at that, I can see, nearby, I have lots of different trails, and I can see my own Garden of the Gods loop that I made. This is literally what we just made and added to the watch. And so I have all of that on there. And then I can also navigate it from the phone itself. And so I can literally see, if I'm there, the actual Garmin map as, the same as on my watch. And then if you pay, you can download, Outdoor Maps Plus and have offline maps on your phone. I don't do it that way. I actually just use Apple Maps or Google Maps because I can download maps for free that way. And it's going to be the same kind of thing, right? Like, you can see the walkways and the trails. It's not as feature rich as like off-grid type mapping as Garmin would be. But if you're anywhere near civilization, this works just as fine for you to pull up your phone and see, like, where does that trail go? Where does that one go? Where does that road go? It still gives you the same kind of stuff. So if you're literally there, you can just pull up your map and see where it goes. Again, not quite as feature rich as Garmin, but it's not worth paying for at the same time on the Garmin side if you can just download it for free on your phone. That's generally how I do it. And so on the wrist, when it comes to mapping, if it's anything more than just a quick glance at, like, okay, where does that trail go, or contextual awareness, I'm most likely going to be pulling out my phone anyway. And that's where, especially if I'm planning a course, I would almost rather take the instinct because it's just easier to read. It's easier to follow. And if I'm not having to reroute my entire map or blow it all up, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to pull out my phone anyway. I just don't really need to do that on my wrist. I just need to follow the line, the easy to read line on the instinct. And that's that. And then jumping back into the Garmin Connect app here under our courses, we can see different favorites and stuff. These are just different courses that I have made over time that you can build out on your own. And then again, you load them in, and then you have your whole hike and your route plan. So you don't have to bring a map to remember, okay, where am I going or whatever. Like, it just tells you if there's a fork in the road, go this way. And so that's helpful. And that's how to use offline mapping and route planning on multiple different Garmin devices.